Today we are looking at the Bushranger Portable Gas Hot Water Shower, everything from setup to safety. Like any gear you take away with you, you want to get it out and get it set up and familiarise yourself with it before you head out on your trip. There's nothing worse than getting out there and realising you've forgotten something, specifically like a gas bottle for instance, and you're not able to use it. Now with the portable gas hot water shower, first thing you need to do is read the instructions. Alright, so we're going to get the unit out now, part by part. This is the gas regulator and hose. This is the hose that goes out to the shower head, or the shower rose. This is actually stainless steel. The batteries for the pilot light and the display. Connectors and the gas fitting. There's the shower head, has a on-off switch and a mounting bracket. Now this is the main unit here. So to go through the individual parts of this unit, we have the gas hose with regulator. This is to Australian standards. We have the hot water hose. This runs from the unit up to the shower head. This is of stainless steel construction and it's 1.5 meters long. We have the shower head itself. It has a mounting bracket and it has an on-off switch in it. Batteries for the digital readout on the unit. And we have the connectors, so the 2 water connectors and the gas connector with the seal. We have the instructions as well, which is what we're going to go through today. We have the unit. And in this unit we have the water pump. Now this pump has it flows at 12 litres a minute, but we've optimised it for the unit to slow down a little bit, but to give you a great flow. We're going to look at preparing the appliance now. This starts with the batteries. We're going to install the batteries into the unit for the digital display. Now it's a bit tricky to get them in because they've got this plastic clip, but that's to stop them falling out when you open the unit when it's hanging up, if you need to replace them. Now you notice here that there are 3 connections down the bottom. They're all clearly labelled. You've got the yellow for gas, and of course red for the hot water outlet and blue for the cold water inlet. So we're going to connect the gas fitting first. Now with the gas fitting, it's going to be already installed on some units, but in this unit it's not, so we have the seal to put in. And we're going to pop this onto the unit. Make sure it's clean and clear, and we will check that for leaks before we start the unit up. We're now going to install the cold water inlet connector. It already has it sealed in, still make sure it's clean. And now we'll move on to the hot water outlet hose. Now we have seals for both ends of this, just make sure it's correctly seated in there. We use a spanner end for installing this, so we'll pop that through. Now that we've installed the batteries, the gas hose, the hot water hose and the cold water inlet, we're going to install the shower head to the shower hose. Again, we put the seal in, make sure it's clean and clear and seated correctly, and then we just slide it on. Now the unit's ready to hang up. Now today we've set up the gas hot water shower on the side of the vehicle. It's a pretty common place to set it up, but you can also set it up on caravans, on trees, anywhere that's going to support its weight. It's made to be in an outdoor area, not an enclosed area with lots of ventilation. After we've set it up like this, we're going to connect the gas bottle. Now we want to keep the gas bottle out of direct sunlight and away from any ignition sources. So we want to keep it as far away from the unit as can. We make sure the seals are clean and clear, and then we're right to check for leaks. Now we're going to check for gas leaks in the unit. We do this with some soapy water and we spray that on the connectors. First thing we do is turn on the gas, and then we spray the soapy water on the connectors until we see any bubbles or hopefully lack thereof. Now that we've connected the gas line and checked for leaks, we're going to connect the water supply. So we connect a quick connector to the hot water shower, and that runs to the pump. Now the pump can be mounted horizontally, but we prefer to stand it with the motor up. So in this case, we've actually mounted it into a box. From there, we run that all the way over to the water supply. It can be town water. You can use a pump and pump it from a fresh water source, or you can use gravity feed. Just put something up on your roof or of your car if it's convenient. And you'll need to use a filter if it's from a creek, just to filter out any debris that could possibly get into the pump. Once your water setup is complete, we go to purging the air out of the water line. With this, we turn the shower head to on, and then we turn the power on to the pump and let the water purge through. We do this without turning the gas hot water shower on. We don't need the air and the water that we're purging through to actually heat up. Now we're going to do the initial startup of the gas hot water shower. We turn the water off on the shower head. We turn the burner to low, the gas to minimum, the water to maximum. Then we turn the unit on the underside of the unit. There's a switch, and we turn the water pump on, and then we're right to start the shower head. We're going to quickly go through the troubleshooting section of the instruction manual for the gas hot water shower. The first section is the appliance will not light at all. Now the first thing you need to do is you check the batteries, check that they're installed in the correct position, and check that there's enough power in them. Now to know if there's enough power, what you'll hear when you turn the unit on is you'll actually hear the unit clicking, but you won't hear the clunk of the gas igniting. Once you've checked the batteries and it doesn't have the symptoms of the batteries being flat or incorrectly installed, you need to check the sufficient water pressure. Now you don't have gauges out at a campsite to see if there's enough water pressure there at the 25 kilopascals. So you simply just turn it on, and you can check that the water's flowing nicely and not dribbling and drooping down, and that looks fine. You turn that back off. Next is there may be debris in the water inlet. So now we're going to disconnect the power source from the water pump, and we're going to check the inlet filter. We take the water filter off. Now we check it by unscrewing this and checking the filter element inside. It's looking pretty good. So we know that's not the issue. Now that we've checked the batteries and the water, the next step is to purge the gas line. So we do this by having the gas bottle turned on, and then up under the unit here, we just crack the fitting until we hear gas escaping. After we've purged the gas, we need to check it for leaks again. A little bit of soapy water, give it a good soaking. Looks like we're good. Now that we've purged the gas line, the next step is to check that the water inlet is actually connected to the cold water, and the water outlet goes out to the hot water hose and to the shower head. And then we check if the unit's turned on. Now make sure in between each of these steps that you check if the problem's been solved. After that, there's one more step if the appliance will not light, and that is to check the whole gas bottle. So after we've checked the water flow and the on-off switch, the only other thing that could be stopping the appliance from lighting would be a problem with the gas bottle. Now the problems with the gas bottle could be that it's been overfilled or it's been sitting in direct sunlight. Now to test this out and to get the unit potentially running again, you disconnect the gas bottle, of course turning it off first and turning the unit off first, disconnect the gas bottle, then you reconnect it, turn the unit back on without turning the gas on, get everything set up, get the water flowing. You'll hear the ticking in the unit of it trying to ignite, but there's no gas. And then you slowly turn the gas bottle on and listen for it igniting the gas. So you're slowly introducing the gas back into the system. If the water is not getting hot enough, there's a few things we can do with the settings on the unit to make it get to the desired temperature. So we start the unit up, Now if it's not getting hot enough, we can adjust the gas regulator up to high. We can try dropping the water flow back. And if you're in a really cold environment or you're getting the water from a really cold source, you can actually turn the burner up to high and it will ignite the second burner. Now that we've gone through the obvious things to make the water hotter, which is turning the gas up and slowing the water flow down and maybe turning the burners onto high, we can go through the other things that might be causing an issue, which is to check the unit to see if it's a blue flame and not a yellow flame. You can do that through the viewing panel here. But if today, if it's a bit bright and you can't see through it, you can also look through the side of the unit to see the blue flame. If there is a blue flame there, from there you check the gas bottle. Make sure it's got gas in it, make sure it's not empty, and you can try purging it by turning the shower head on and off a few times just to make sure that there's no air flowing through the unit. Now if you're storing the unit for a long time, you'll need to get all the water out of the unit. You can do this by taking the little screw out of here and letting all the water drain out. Some clown off camera. But I know you're there now, which makes it worse.